Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited because we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is perfume. So I have quite a few perfumes that I have recently hauled, a little bit of PR as well, but I did get to pick it out, so it's something that I'm excited about. So if you are interested in learning about some amazing perfume picks, I do have the Floris. This is the Platinum 22. This is in honor of Her Majesty and the Jubilee event. So I want to share this perfume with you. I also have the Ormonde Jayne Ervinia. This just launched and I'm so excited to share this one with you because I'm a huge Ormonde Jayne fan. I also have two perfumes from Commodity as well as two other beauties that are perfect for this spring summer season. So if you're interested in seeing my perfume haul, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to start with the Platinum 22. This is from Floris London. Now, I was super excited about this one because this was specially commissioned by the Queen herself to celebrate the historic milestone of the Platinum Jubilee. So I was so intrigued by this. I've been intrigued by this brand as well. I am getting to go to London in a few weeks, and that is on my list to stop and take a sniff at all the other ones there. But I went ahead and purchased the Platinum 22 because this is a limited edition fragrance and I was worried that it would sell out, and I just thought this would be really unique and fun to have in my collection. This was also a recommendation by one of my friends that I have met through YouTube. That is Deb. She always steers me the right way. We tend to talk a lot about fragrances, and she had a chance to go smell it at Bergdorf's and she was like, Abby, I think you're really going to like it. And then the next thing you know, Erin Nicole did a whole video on it and I was like, oh my gosh, I just have to go ahead and grab this one. And I'm so glad I did. So when I first sprayed this out, I literally was like, this is regal, this is majestic, that they had nailed this fragrance for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. This one is super rich, majestic, regal. Like, I definitely feel like this is not one that I'm just going to throw on my casual days when I am wearing a t-shirt and jeans. You certainly can wear it whenever you want to, but to me the beauty of this is that it really does exude majesty, regalness. It is very sophisticated. This also is very intoxicating. It has a presence to it like it should, and that's where I think this is best to wear when you want something where you are going to feel very special, like you have an event and you are dressed to the nines, your hair is done, you have your little matching handbag, like you look very polished and put together. This is what this fragrance kind of exudes to me. This to me feels a bit more special, not something that I would just throw on every day. It has that richness and regalness to it that I feel like should be saved for those special events. So let me read off the notes to you because this one really is beautiful. And again, you can wear this whenever you want. I'm just trying to give you a little explanation of how it's making me feel. So I was already intrigued by this fragrance when I heard the notes. So the star notes in here are amber. I love that as a base. Nice and warm. And then it is orris, which I'm a bit obsessed with at the moment, as well as rose, which is another one of my favorites. This also has a beautiful note of tea in here, and so this all together kind of just screams British to me, which I'm so excited about. I love British culture. I spent a whole summer there going to school, just fell in love with the city, and I of course was all about the royal family. Queen Elizabeth truly is majestic and regal and has served her country for 70 years. Like, this truly is historic, and this is what this fragrance smells like. Now let me read the other notes to you so you can get a feel of that. But basically it's opening with the top notes of cool orris. It is rounded by the comforting scent of oats and lifted with a sparkle of black currant and lime. Platinum 22 gently yields to the radiant heart notes of rich rose with violet leaves, clary sage, black tea, and a touch of black pepper to add a hint of spice. And I definitely do get a little hit of spice in here. The fragrance then concludes with the warm woody base notes of cedar wood, and it's enriched by a harmony of smooth amber, musk, and tonka bean. So you guys, pretty much this has everything that I love in here. This truly is, again, I cannot help but describe this as very majestic and regal. So a very special fragrance. This is something that I'm going to wear on those days when I want to be a bit more polished, when I am feeling a bit more regal or majestic, or that's what I want to feel like. And I'm super excited that I picked this up, and I can't wait to smell a few others from this line. So I am taking everybody's suggestion because I'm going to be in Paris and London, and I plan on, of course, hitting up some perfume shops, and I would love to know what I need to get my nose on, what I should be focusing on. But I will be popping into the Floris Boutique in London. I'm really looking forward to that. And I would definitely recommend this to anybody who also loves those notes but also want a little piece of history. I think that you would really enjoy this fragrance. Okay, the next fragrance I want to talk about is from Commodity, and this is the fragrance Milk. Now, I'm personally a huge fan of Commodity fragrances. I find them to be unique, and I love the fact that they come in 3 different scent spaces. So their fragrances have milk just like this. This is the expressive version. There is a personal space scent, and that is for those of you who want a softer kind of skin scent fragrance. Then they have expressive, and this is going to be a bit more balanced, and this is going to be enjoyed by yourself and others around you. And then they have the bold version, and of course the bold version is going to be just that. Those are those fragrances where you are intentionally wanting to make a statement. There is a presence around them, and they are definitely for you and everybody else to be enjoyed by, which I do love many of the bold versions as well as the personal ones. So in the milk fragrance, I ended up picking out the expressive because to me this was just the perfect balance of this fragrance. So when I smell this, the first word that comes to mind is yummy, because there is a marshmallow note in the milk perfume. Milk is an opaque white liquid rich in sweet creams and fresh woods. A trilogy of caressing woody scents filled with skin musk, tonka bean, and mahogany wood. This is one of those fragrances that makes my eyeballs roll back in the head. Like, it just smells so good. But I love this one because there is a cool element to it with the milk. So even though this is a warm and rich fragrance, there is a slight coolness to it if you think of like cold icy milk, or maybe even a layer of condensed milk, how that is kind of creamy and delicious, but also can add a little bit of coolness to a fragrance. That is what this smells like to me. There's a sweetness to this fragrance, but I feel like it is very well balanced with the woodiness in the base of this. So yes, it's got this marshmallow note and sweetness to it, but then it is in this richer mahogany wood base, so it's going to be nice and balanced. It is not too sickly sweet, and then it's got the note of tonka bean in it that to me just adds a really nice amount of depth and richness to fragrances. Like that's one of my favorite notes that I really enjoy. So this one is going to be warm and comforting and slightly sweet. There's a playful element to this, and to me I feel like you could totally rock this during the summer months as well, because it is not too deep or too warm. That's what I'm saying. There is some sort of cool element in here. Thinking of that cold glass of milk, there is something in there that's going to help balance it, because I know as we're coming into warmer months, sometimes we tend to gravitate towards lighter, fresher fragrances. So this one is going to be in the warmer gourmand category, but I feel like you could still completely rock this in the warmer weather. Maybe you're going to spritz this on before going out at night, but there is something that's very comforting in here, sweet, marshmallowy, woody. It's just a really beautiful scent. Love this milk in the expressive form of it. Not too sweet, not too woody, just perfect. And again, you can enjoy smelling this on yourself and around you, but it isn't going to be so bold that when you walk into the room, people are going to be like, whoa, what are you wearing? This is just going to be one of those that people will say, wow, you smell good. What are you wearing? So love this commodity milk. Highly recommend this fragrance. Okay, moving away from some of the richer, more majestic fragrances, and if you're looking for the perfect everyday spring summer scent, then Mimosa by Commodity is exactly that. You guys, this is the perfect, fresh, invigorating, soft floral fragrance. This was love at first sniff. So this is going to start out with a burst of citrus. So this again is so perfect for like hot weather. And this one is bright and luminous and very happy. Like to me, this is a happy, easygoing fragrance. I don't find that this fragrance would be offensive to anyone. It is also not too citrusy. There is certain fragrances where they go very heavy on the citrus and then it can kind of smell like cleaner or pledge to me, and that is not the case here. This is going to have that light airiness and that citrus burst, but it is toned down by the soft florals in here. This one has this champagne burst. There's no aldehydes in here, but it has a little bit of effervescent or bubbly feel to it. Again, if it is a super hot day and you want to feel fresh and invigorated, Mimosa is going to be that fragrance. So you're going to spray it on and you're going to have a little bit of a champagne bubbly freshness from the citrus burst. Top notes in here are going to be blood orange, mandarin orange, lemon, and bergamot. So you can start to feel that citrusy burst, very fresh, very invigorating. The middle notes in here are jasmine, orange blossom, black pepper, and then in the base it's going to be orris root, which gives you a nice little creaminess. It's going to have musk and white musk in here. This is one of these fragrances that you're going to get compliments on. It is fresh and joyful, and you're going to just smell really good. So this is one of these where yes, I could see you in a white t-shirt wearing your favorite comfy jeans. You have your flip-flops on and you're going to the beach, or you're going to be going out for a brunch with your best girlfriends. It's one of these fragrances, if that makes sense. Perfect everyday scent, perfect summer scent, and this one just makes me happy. I have these fragrances that I call joy makers because every time I wear them, they just make me feel good and happy and optimistic, and Mimosa is one of those. And I highly recommend it for this time of year as we're starting to get into some warmer weather. I can see myself reaching for this daily. And this is one of these fragrances that my daughter loved. Now, she goes to school in Los Angeles, and she said that when she got down to Los Angeles, where it is warmer and sunny all the time, that her fragrance preferences switched, and that these are the kind of fragrances that she reaches for more, because when it is hot and dense, you don't necessarily want something that is super rich and dense or sickly sweet. You want something that's going to be light, bubbly, invigorating, kind of have a cooling effect on the body, and Mimosa is going to give you that feel. This one's a no-brainer. I feel like so many people would enjoy this, especially in the summer months. Okay, the next fragrance I want to talk about is from another one of my personal favorite brands, and this is another London-based brand. This is Ormonde Jayne, and I have several favorites from this brand, and they have recently launched a new one called Ervinia, and this one is based around the notes of oak moss. And so if you are a fan of oak moss, this is one that you're definitely going to want to check out. So what does oak moss smell like? So oak moss is very earthy. There is almost a little bit of dampness to this, like as if I am walking in to the forest, like out here in Oregon. We have all these beautiful trails that you can walk on. It rains a lot in here, but when you walk in to one of these forest hikes, you smell a lot of the fresh air and the earthiness and just the greenness and the lushness and just the smell of nature, like the thick trunks of the trees that are growing in the forest, the leaves. There's just a sort of an element of nature, greenness, earthiness. So if you can think about that, that is what the note of oak moss smells like. So that is what this fragrance is centered around. Now the top notes in here are going to be cassis, absolute, bergamot, cardamom. I definitely smell the cardamom in here. There is this warmth. I love the scent of cardamom. And then it's got pink pepper and coriander seed. In the heart notes, it's got that creamy orris butter, lily of the valley, freesia, jasmine, violet, and rose absolute. So again, this is going to be more of an earthy floral. And then in the base, you've got the oak moss. There's cashmere, sandalwood, musk, and ISO-E supers. So I really love the DNA that is in most Ormonde Jayne fragrances. And the Ormonde Jayne DNA to me has sort of a green freshness in all of their fragrances. There's just something that I really love about that DNA. And I do smell that in this fragrance. This fragrance actually reminds me a bit of Portland, Oregon. All the natural raw beauty here. It rains a lot out here, but it's also very lush and green and has all these beautiful forests. So think about that when you're thinking about this fragrance. There is a damp earthiness to it. So this is definitely going to be for those of you that love more woody, earthy scents. I also smell a bit of like the pine cones in here. There's just that kind of woodiness in here, which of course really resonates with where I personally live. And this is really enjoyable to wear because it's got this kind of density to it. And the dry down of this, I would say you're still going to smell that oak moss as it dries down, but more of the Ormonde Jayne kind of DNA also kind of rises and lifts this fragrance a bit. And this definitely has a hit of spices. Like I definitely smell the cardamom. There is a kick from that pink pepper. And then there is coriander seed too. Definitely smell the spices in here. Smell the oak moss. Smell that damp woodiness. But upon the dry down, the florals are going to start to come out. That beautiful freesia, lily of the valley, creamy orris butter. It's a little bit of violet in there and some rose. So if you are an Ormonde Jayne fan, if you are somebody who enjoys a little bit more earthy scents and you like that DNA, then I think you're going to really like this one from Ormonde Jayne. Really been enjoying this. I would call this my Portland scent. Last but not least, I got a beautiful scent from Santa Maria Novella. Now, I was just in Miami and they had a beautiful Santa Maria Novella shop at the Bal Harbour Mall, and we just had the best experience there. So, one thing I would tell you, if you can go to one of their standalone stores, I think they are big on giving you the full experience there. And this was one of the most fun perfume experiences I have had in a while. And I had several fragrances that I loved from Santa Maria Novella, but I ended up just picking up one. I was kind of debating between the new Rosa Gardenia, which is gorgeous. If you are somebody who loves the note of gardenia, that's definitely one to check out. I ended up picking up the Angeli de Ferenz, and I would describe this as an ozonic fruity floral. And I want to keep in mind that I was in Miami. It was very humid, it was very warm, and a completely different climate than from what I live. So if we were just talking about my Portland scent over here, very damp, earthy, oak mossy, this is going to be kind of on the other end. You're going to think about that warm ocean, that humidity, that you need something that is light and refreshing to kind of cut through the thick humidity. And this was the one that I ended up just falling in love with because it was a very delicate, fruity floral that just smelled so good. Now, again, I smelled Rosa Gardenia and I really fell in love with that one, but it almost smelled a little too rich or sweet in that heat for me. So I probably would have loved that one if I had brought it home here. But that particular day, I definitely was feeling some of the effects of the humidity and heat, and this was the perfect pick. So when you first spray this out, it definitely has that ozonic feel to it, which I don't always love. So when I first smelled this, I was like, I'm not sure about it. But then when it started developing on my skin and started to warm up a bit, I ended up just falling in love with it. So again, it's got top notes of peach and orange. In the middle, you have marine notes, jasmine, black currant. So again, a little bit more fruity there, but this is not a fruit bomb, you guys. This is not one of these young fragrances that's just a true fruity floral. This one is going to be an adult fruity floral. And then in the base, you've got creamy sandalwood, you've got vanilla, and you've got musk. So again, all three that I love. And what I will tell you is this is definitely a soft, fruity floral. So again, just not super. When you hear peach and you hear orange and you hear black currant, you might be like, it might be too fruity if you're not somebody who likes that. But this is very well balanced. There is this mineral note in it. There's something very ozonic, like I think of ocean splashing towards the sand. Like there is that element to it. And then the floral jasmine in here is soft. It isn't like really super strong. This fragrance is very soft. It is very elegant. It is perfect year round, especially for those of you that like softer fragrances. I think you might really love this one. I personally think it is perfect for the warmer weather. This works beautifully in humidity, but it has this really nice dry down to it as well. So when you first spray this out, you might think, ooh, it's too airy or there's not enough oomph to it. As it dries down, it is going to start to develop and give you a little bit more of that elegant feel to it. And there is something comforting about this fragrance as well. And it is going to feel a bit more fluffy or cloud-like on your skin. But I think the difference between fragrances that I describe as that clean, fresh out of the shower, like a good smelling bar of soap, this one would be definitely ozonic, a little bit more airy, a little bit more floaty, and that's a little bit of a different genre, but in the same everyday kind of wear. This is truly beautiful. The woman who helped us, this was her personal favorite, so she was really kind of sharing that love and joy for the fragrance, so it kind of made me fall in love with it as well. I love sharing the passion of perfume with others. When you hear something that they love, all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I'm totally getting what she's talking about. So just a really fun experience. And I was also with my sister and we were just having such a fun time, but they also sell a shower gel as well as a body lotion. And she was like, Abby, you just need to get the full Monty, just get the whole set system, because she knows that I love to layer fragrances. And I just wanted to say I restrained myself just due to the fact that I'm going to be going to Europe and I'm trying to be good and know that I'm probably going to pick up a thing or two there. But I will say that I will be picking up the body products in the future because I love layering fragrances that way. And they had so many other fantastic gifts. So if I were to give somebody a gift, this is a place that I would go to because they had so many options. You can get a sampler set, you can get sachets, candles, all sorts of beautiful fragrances. And these are not super expensive. They are very classic. This is old school and I just love it. So this is a new favorite from Santa Maria Novella. Again, if you have a chance to go to one of their shops and get the full experience, I highly recommend you do so. Okay guys, that is my current perfume haul of the moment, and I am reaching out to my fellow frag heads to let me know where I need to go when I am in Paris and London. I have all sorts of little perfumes on my list, but I always love to hear from you guys. Let me know where I need to go, what I need to pick up. I'm super excited, but almost a bit overwhelmed because I feel like I am going to miss out on something. So if you have any guidance, please let me know. And again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great weekend and I will talk to you soon.